Good morning, 27th Tuesday. I'm actually going to take it a little bit easy today, but we got some big earnings after the bell. Big tech today is on docket. So, yeah, but I had a terrible night, man. The baby was throwing up and stuff. So I'm going to take it easy today. I'm not going to stress myself out too much. To the charts here, you can see. So yesterday ended up being pretty good. So there was some weakness around the opening and everything. I actually think I had an okay trade there. But even though there appeared to be some disagreement over the what do we call this, infrastructure bill and everything, all the senators talked it down and it was okay. So nothing bad happened. Anyways, so they pushed up. Tesla earnings were good. And then overnight in Asia session, we had a little bit of a comeback again over China stuff and all that sort of things. But I didn't see anything too terribly worrying in the macro framework, and we did recover that, so should be okay. Treasuries continue to look like bidding, right? Like they come back to the support and then it gets bid up. And we're seeing that a lot. I'm not seeing the spread change too much here, though. Oil still flat. Gold and silver is just, well, gold is taking a run here right now, actually. Ooh, look at that. That's a pretty good looking look on the 5-minute chart. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. The dollar looking weak today. Probably why gold's doing so well. Dollar's looking weak, and that's going to help your equities there for sure. But let's see what happens. Remember, we got FOMC tomorrow, so should be fun. And yeah, but I got a bunch of stuff going here. My stepson has a surgery today, so I'm staying home and watching the kid who was throwing up last night. I don't know how that's gonna work. I think he's gonna be okay because he stopped throwing up. So I think we're gonna feed him something this morning and he is gonna be just fun, just wonderful. One night thing. We can only hope, right? Anyways, what else we got going? Oh yeah, so let's see here. We do have some news today, right? We've got durable goods orders here at the bottom of the hour, looking for a reading of spot 8%. 2.1% month over month for the whole number. So transportation, big portion of that. Yes. Okay. And then we do have Case-Shiller home price index, which is going to be an important thing, considering like how much homes have like been increasing and everything. And we'll finally get some numbers on that. And Richmond Fed manufacturing index and consumer confidence. So we have some fairly significant numbers today ahead of tomorrow's FOMC meeting. Yeah. And what else? And I think that's it. Oh, Bitcoin. Where's Bitcoin at? I haven't seen anything. Okay, so they had a big comeback yesterday after, a big drop after news came out that Tether was under investigation, or maybe under investigation. I have to say, the way the news sites have treated it is very much as rumor. And then Tether, basically their response, I'm going to paraphrase. You should go and read their statement if you're interested in Bitcoin stuff. But their response was basically, we're always under investigation because, we work with the regulators really closely, which sounds like a load of crap to me. Like, weren't they just arguing that they're not under anybody's jurisdiction? Like, come on. So, yeah, I was like the craziest non-denial I've ever seen. Because they were very, very angry. They're like, that Bloomberg, blah, 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 blah. But they didn't deny that the story was true. And in fact, they kind of confirmed it in their response. I was like, really? Okay. So shouldn't cryptocurrencies come back more? Well, no, because you got to remember that no matter what happens, it's always good for Bitcoin. Yeah. So, but there are rumblings going on that something's going down and that certain people are getting out. So we'll see if those rumors are true or not. I can't say. See, Bitfinex sounds so confident that the regulators and police are on them. Listen to this one. The cryptocurrency community had ample time to self-police and remove fraudulent actors from the community, and they refused to. Instead, they embraced the fraudulent actors. They'll have no one to blame but themselves. When authorities clean house, everybody loses. I don't think this guy actually knows anything, though. Bitfinex owns Tether. They made it for their Yep. I find it extremely disconcerting that they haven't printed any Tether lately. Like that they were printing it hand over fist, and then all of a sudden it was just like it ended. And then since then, Bitcoin's been like okay. Just confirming everything that we've been saying, isn't it? Squawkbox tweets, I doubt the investment bankers and I doubt the street is going to make some of the same mistakes they made with the Coinbase offering. I think that the Robinhood app IPO is going to be pretty aggressive, says Tasty Trades Tom Snossoff. Robinhood learned a lot from that. Oh, Tom Snossoff was on Squawkbox this morning? That's cool. Hey, you know what? These treasuries, they going. Tether was the thing that was going to make Bitcoin crash, though, because people sell Bitcoin. No, probably. I don't think that it will actually happen that way. In fact, if there is a crash, you might see Bitcoin rise at first, because what is the thing that is really truly worthless? It's Tether, right? So you're basically going to have a run on the bank, except for that, like, nobody is going to be able to get any of their Tether filled, right? So what are they going to do? They're all going to try and sell their Tethers for whatever they can get their hands on first. So in the short run, you would see Bitcoin rise, but then at the end of it, where's the after that? Where's the money going to come from? It was all coming from Tether, right? So at that point, the supply would just completely dry up, and eventually you'll get a long crash. And it will probably be very much like the Mt. Gox crash, right? Like that happened in the Mt. Gox crash. There was like this huge uptrend, and then these guys came out in the morning and sold it hard before the thing happened and made out like bandits. Like, it was man, I remember that day. I don't really, I don't realize it because I was never like trying to be an influencer in the Bitcoin space or anything like that, but I was around back then. I remember when Mt. Gox fell apart. And it was all over fraud. It was like, well, geez, didn't see that one coming. If USDT crashes to crypto, I will buy the dip. Yeah, well, normally I would, but the concern that I have is I feel like that the timing of this is all really off. Like here's the thing that I continually come into with cryptocurrencies, and that is that the timing is just all wrong. So in my opinion, this whole thing for like cryptocurrencies to become the worldwide currency, it's too late. because they ruined the blockchain, essentially. This is my opinion. Again, but you can't use it for transactions anymore, right? And that was a big problem. And so now I consider Bitcoin like a failed experiment that's kind of running on fumes. If there is a big crash, and it's really one that is like caused by fraud, and it's like the Mount Gox, you're going to see another winter. And I mean, it's going to be a long, cold cryptocurrency winter, because nobody's going to want to touch that because of the fraud. And in its absence, what's going to happen? The central banks are going to make their cryptocurrencies, and that's going to make it that much harder. Okay, we're getting the numbers here now. That's why everything's pulling. Okay. It's lower than the forecast. Actual spot 3 forecast, spot 8. I'm bored of crypto, to be honest. It's not cool anymore. Well, you notice that when it's not going up, how quickly the interest dies. It's really insane. But I think that's because the influencers stopped. Part of the drive was TikTok, right? And TikTok basically banned it. So that put a big stop in it, for starters, right? But the problem that you're going to have is that central bank cryptocurrencies are going to come and step in their place. And so I think the ones that are going to be the hardest hit, it's again, it's just so ironic, is like, because what are the next wave? What are everybody's saying that this next cycle that Ethereum could be top, and a lot of people are starting to call for Ethereum to become the top cryptocurrency over Bitcoin. And we've seen a lot of that, and Ethereum has definitely closed the gap over the last 6 months or so, right? But who gets hurt from central bank cryptocurrencies the most? It's Ethereum, guys, right? Because the Ethereum's whole thing is, oh, we can do applications on the blockchain. Well, if the government makes a currency that does that too, then it becomes, again, like the benefit of it is the benefit of Bitcoin, that it's not controlled by a central bank, right? Like, once central bank cryptocurrencies come in, the only advantage of other cryptocurrencies is a currency not controlled by a central bank, which frankly is not actually an advantage. It's not actually an advantage, contrary to what everybody in the crypto sphere feels. So how do they gain traction again? So I wouldn't say that Bitcoin dies. I wouldn't say that it dies. But, I mean, it will always kind of be there, and there will always kind of be a cult. But might you see peak Bitcoin? It's possible. That was the kind of combination of factors that could certainly cause that, right? So, but we'll see. I mean, the thing is that they'll continue to mine out the blocks, and that will bring the price up over time. So, reminds you of the last bull bear cycle in Bitcoin. Anthony believes that Ethereum is going to flip Bitcoin. Yeah. I don't know. I'm really interested to see how this Tether thing sorts out, because I feel that the way that the news went through the weekend and everything is a little suspicious, right? Friday comes out. Amazon is going to accept cryptocurrency payments. It's rumor. Everybody reports it. That rumor was false. Okay. Then Monday, there's like a big buy, and everybody attributes it to the Amazon news. It's like, okay, they bought it like 2 days after it happened. Huh? And then after that, news comes out that Tether was maybe under investigation. I think that maybe what happened was that move was somebody catching wind of the story and selling their tether for Bitcoin and causing that move. Or maybe it was Tether themselves buying Bitcoin up to try and blunt any kind of negative momentum that would come from it. Right? And then the story comes out and they rail against it, but they basically confirm the story. Like I just think that whole sequence of events is highly suspect. Right? Like, you can't tell me that there aren't people that know what's going to happen and are trying to manipulate the price. I want to turn my algo on. Is it quiet enough? Yeah, it's 35. Okay. So I was looking at things yesterday because you remember I took a trade and I was like, that one's not supposed to happen. Let me bring myself up here so that we don't expose anything that we're not supposed to. And I was just like, that's not quite right. So I went and did some back testing again, and then I remembered, I was like, oh no, I wanted to run. I was running it this other way. So I think that I had a setting in there incorrect. I believe I had an incorrect setting in there. So I've since changed that. So we'll have to see how the robot does today. Let's see here. Central bank having influence on the supply might be a good thing for the economy, but we still don't know what an economy that lacks that in terms of crypto, huge bull trap. Well, I think that the advantage to a central bank cryptocurrency is just so obvious, right? Like they have to rely on all of these reports, you know? How much did this sector make and where is money from this sector going and yada, 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 right? Now they will have the ability to literally track every transaction. And there's all sorts of cool science behind it too. Like I've seen some studies where they tried to track where the money went after Mt. Gox and like how fraudulent the activity in Bitcoin is, right? Like you can see where it's going. Having everything on a public ledger that the government can read. Maybe you make one that like only the government can read it. I don't know. Because I don't want necessarily everybody to see exactly what I'm doing with my money. But I digress. If you can track all of that and see what companies are doing and where the money is going, think about how much more effective you can make your central bank policy, right? Like if you determine, hey, the money needs to go here, you send it to them and that's that. There's nothing complicated. You just need to know the address and you send it, right? And then you can see where they spent it to see if that stimulus was, how effective that stimulus actually was and what it actually added or didn't add to the economy. Okay, so no, Treasury's moved up over the news. I didn't necessarily take that trade because of the news, by the way, but I just saw that they were bidding it up. I'm kind of wondering now though, like how high can they go? Like, see here, yesterday's high was 18.5. We're already above the value area. CB has a little bit to go, 28 in CB. In ZB. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, like they came back. That's sad. Well, that's kind of way the treasuries have been lately, though, right? They'll go and they'll test this low end of the range, and then they go all the way back up, and they'll go higher, or maybe not. Maybe they've been really confusing in that respect. It used to be that they would pull one direction the whole day, and it was really all about like just being in line with the trend and getting the right spot, because you knew it was going to go up. You just didn't know how far against you it was going to go. But nowadays, it's like way bigger swings. You know, it used to be 4 ticks. You'd know you were right. But now it's like they can go 8 ticks and then come all the way back. Oh, you know, I didn't have the sound on, so probably our little intro thing you guys couldn't hear. Huh? Yeah. I was thinking the risk of potential harm central banks could just balance out with the potential gain in the end. Well, I don't know if it's harmful or not. I mean, so the issue is, well, like, you don't have like a right to privacy. I don't know how that works out, you know? Like, I think it should be like, oh, I don't know. You get what I mean? Like the bad thing is you lose some privacy over how you're spending your money, right? Is what I think happens. But the benefit is the economy is much more efficient. I think you're probably right. I think that the good outweighs the bad in terms of like how much good it does to society and everything. But that's not how the decision should be made, right? Like the question is like, is it constitutional and yada yada yada. But the problem probably is that the government can say, hey, if there's no right to use money. If you're going to use money, then you've got to. Oh wait, what's going on here? That's not what's supposed to happen. Shoot, why did it go short and not long? When I read that, I thought, that it was going long.
Order filled.
That frustrates me, man. What's going on here? If this is false... That I do have it wrong. That is just not what it's supposed to do. I had it right before. Good morning, Sergio. As of 1st July 2020, Australia's bank customers can give permission to accredited third parties to access their savings and credit card data. Well, I'm not going to take too much risk on this one, so I'm just going to take the one tick loss there. I wanted to go like 8.
Order submitted.
Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Sorry, I was like super distracted there. Now that like just like totally interrupted my whole thought process and everything, didn't it? It's called open banking, and you can develop apps using the bank's API. Hey, yeah. Well, so that is another thing. Is like payments processing is actually really complicated, and it's not gonna get filled. Payments processing is really complicated. And there's all these different standards and everything, and then there's like different apps to connect to, like Plaid and everything. Imagine if there was a US central bank cryptocurrency, you wouldn't need like it would put MasterCard and Discover and PayPal and all these guys out of business. They would basically become about their business would have to become about helping you do those payments more efficiently. Well, there's a pretty good uptrend developing, wouldn't you say? In the treasury, so the thing was that when I took the treasury, it's like it looks like the treasuries want to develop along. It may have just been for the news. We'll see. And then they came back to my entry. They were one tick below it, and I started to see this thing develop over here in the EMI. So I was like, well, I don't think I want to be along this anymore, because what if these come down? And the dollar continues to look a little weak. So Stick says, cryptos, what problems are they solving for you and me, though? Well, so say, for instance, you want to receive money online, and you are a right-winger, and you're getting banned by PayPal. I mean, that's been happening, right? With central bank cryptocurrency, you wouldn't be able to do that anymore because everybody has to have access to the network. And when you get your stimulus payment, it will come faster because they can deposit it directly into your wallet. And when it comes to paying your taxes, all of that information will already be on the blockchain. So you'll just have to connect the analysis software into your wallets, and it will figure out all your taxes for you, just like poof, all done. And frankly, if they wanted to do away with many antiquated systems and everything, they could just take it all out. Like imagine if they wanted to do this, they could just say, okay, we're going to assess taxes for you. We're going to take it out of your wallet for you, right? If there's not enough money in your wallet, then we can set up like some monthly payment system with you. Like, it's crazy, right? But like, that's all possible. Imagine China putting limits on their own central bank crypto for bad model citizens. Well, yeah. Well, so apparently in the Chinese cryptocurrency that's already out, they can like turn your wallet off. Like they can just say, you have money, but it doesn't work anymore. Like, which is crazy too. So the issue with a U.S. central bank currency is that there would have to be limitations put into it on what the government can do with it, for sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, Red Book year over year. In 5 minutes. That's not a number that really typically moves the market, though. Now, the Case-Shiller Home Index at the top of the hour, that might... that's going to be interesting. That's going to be really, really interesting. Because what they're expecting a year-over-year price increase of 16.4%, which is a lot. Previous reading of 14.9, right? And if it ends up being more, well, month over month, 2.1. If those numbers end up being more, that's certainly bad for the treasuries over here, right? Stickball says, wait, what, WTF already? Well, I mean, it was built into it, right? Yeah. It kind of shows you some scary things about it. Like if the government truly had sole control over the supply. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you can even see the treasuries kind of maybe selling off in anticipation. I think that the bid that I saw was front running the news, and that one was done. So I'm really glad that I got out of it where I did. Normally I would be like trying to hold on to that one, right? But I guess I'm doing okay today. Maybe I thought that I would be like really slow and iffy because I didn't sleep well because the baby was throwing up last night, but maybe I'm okay. Maybe I'm sharper than usual. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see, because I tell you what, when the baby takes a nap today, I'm taking a nap. Print Trading is posting all. If you guys haven't followed this on Twitter, it's at print_trading, and this guy tweets all of the an analyst's low raise and lower, for the day. So that's like tradable stuff, really. And sometimes it's interesting. Nothing too interesting today, but. So you know what else I've been thinking about? When we get micro treasury futures, what are we going to do? Because I think that what we should do is we should just add DOMs underneath of these DOMs, right? Okay, that's the red book. But the problem is that those are going to move twice as fast or as far as the regular treasuries. So wouldn't I want to use like the smaller font and everything like the E-mini? How am I going to sort that out? I'm going to have to keep them the same font. So maybe it'll be fine. Maybe this is enough space. Maybe this is a little bit higher than this, actually. It is. So maybe I can move the micro treasuries up here and I can move the regular ones down in here. And I think I'll have to switch my 5 and my 30 around. I like it like this, but I'm going to want to see the yield curve like everybody draws it, with short yields over here. So. Oh, and you've been there this whole time? You didn't say anything? Please hit the like button if you haven't yet. Thank you. Yeah. We did yesterday's video did really well, by the way. I was surprised. I did put it in the. It's been interesting to watch the stats and everything, like, because I've been, unlisting the videos after they go live. I've been doing it like a day after, but this week I'm going to do them like right after we go live, right? And today we have the Capitol Hill hearings on the insurrection. Does that really start today? I didn't know. I thought they were still picking the people to be on the committee. Well, no, if you go and leave a comment on that video, it won't do anything because it's unlisted, right? So any views that those videos get now is from people watching it on the playlist. Sargio says new highs for today. Sure, looks like that they're headed that way. They're a little constrained for the moment. Like there was a pretty good move from 44.03 up to 09, but then we've kind of been a little bit sideways since. Yeah. What really helps is like the one-off videos. You comment on those, that helps those videos so much. I feel like I got to figure out what I got to do to get more engagement on those, because I got pretty good engagement on the video about computer hardware, but the other videos, I think I tend to post, more sophisticated subjects and people are like afraid to comment or something. Like I try and be like, yeah, like when this happened to you, leave a story about it. But I don't get a lot of comments like that, even if they do well. You're learning about ending cards? I do. Yeah. So today, after the stream, I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another Adderall and write some scripts. You have your sell orders at 08 and 31. Don't tell us. Shh. I guess you can tell us, but you know what else I found out? Because somebody said yesterday that like the video wasn't showing up. Well, it wasn't listed yesterday, so I fixed that. Oh, okay. So here's the case Schiller, 16.99. Okay, so it is higher than expected, but it's not insane. Interestingly enough, the Japanese yen is on the rise, and the treasuries did tick up a tick, but overall they're still relatively constrained here between 13 and 14. There's definitely a lack of liquidity at 13.5. McCarthy dodges question about Trump's culpability for January 6 pivots to attacking Thompson, Raskin, and Schiff. I ask people if they like or leave comments when I am on other channels. They don't leave comments on videos that are older or the people who often YouTube say this. Yeah. So like, yeah. Here's what you do is when I release a video on Monday, like the one I need to write is day trading right for you? I'm not sure if that's what the title should be. I've been having a hard time being like what would like show up in search the best. Okay. But is day trading for you? Then you go and you watch the video. You watch the whole video. You click the like button and then you leave a comment. Okay. If like 2 or 3 of you guys do that at the very beginning of the video, that makes it so that the video is much more likely to be shown on the front page of all of our subscribers. And then we can get to where like a first day we could get 300 to 500 views. And that's a video that will get recommended and, could get a couple thousand views, right? Like the one that we made about computer hardware, you guys commented on it that first day. Because it looks at the comments and it as a sign of engagement. So a big reason why my channel hasn't gone viral per se or consistently is because I don't get a lot of comments. So I need to fix, and it's not your guys' fault, right? Because I should be posting content that generates conversation, right? Looking for Eurobond breakout to the upside. Well, I am still glad that I got out of my treasury long, but look, they're coming back up for sure. They're not necessarily doing anything at the moment that really makes me feel confident that I should buy and hit into 14. Maybe if I could get long 13 again, but to take the other side, to hit into the other side of it, I would really need to be like, oh, there's like real momentum and they're going to break out like right now, And doesn't it help if you watch the entire video? Yes. Having a high watch percentage, but on those sorts of things, like yes, watching the whole video is important, but 100 other people are going to watch the video, right? So probably I'm the one that has the control in there. How good is the content? There's not much that you can do to influence the algorithm there. But if you comment on the video, that's somewhere where you can have a really big influence on the algorithm, especially if it's the first day, Tommy says a weak top, huh? So the issue is this 13.5 year and the 10 year is an area of low latent liquidity, rather. So NASDAQ trader says so comments, yeah. Like, especially if there's like a debate. So I'll give you an example. I made a video about Andrew Yang, right? You remember that one when I said his first debate performance was, Andrew Yang supporters will probably like it, but his debate performance was a disaster and probably ends his political ambitions, right? And all of these Andrew Yang supporters came out and started commenting on the video. It kind of unwittingly, because it made the video way more popular, and it got a lot of views because of that. Like more views than my videos normally get because so many people commented on it, right? I have to, but the thing is there's different ways to get comments, right? If it's something super relatable, then that could get a lot of comments. But is the content that I make relatable? It's not. It's not. How do I make the content more relatable? I don't know. But so then the other side of it is that if it's informational content, then people should get, ask questions and add to it and stuff like that. But for some reason, that just doesn't happen. Or you can get them, yeah, there you go. NASDAQ trader says it. Or you can get them triggered about something, which was like what I was doing with the politics. But I realized very quickly that although politics is certainly something that we have to track and cover here on this channel, that it's not a very good business to be in the politics on YouTube. That's why I made that other channel, but then I didn't do anything with it. Stupid me. I really should have. I really probably dropped the ball on that one. But the first video did so poorly. I was like, and what I was saying about it was wrong, because I was basically like, I think Pete will be the first person to drop out, and he wasn't. The rage bait business model works, yeah. It really does. Like, there's a real problem with the way that social media tracks. Like ultimately, the problem here is that all of these algorithms optimize for engagement. Primarily, how long people stay on, how long they watch the video, how long they're on Facebook, how long they watch for TikTok, whatever the deal is, right? It's literally the life support the legacy media is on. Yeah, that's true too. And they need to change what they're optimizing for. But but there's like a real conundrum. Like, how do you change that? What would be a better metric? How do you create a metric that tells you that the content is actually positive for them, that it's enriching their lives, that it's making them happier, How do you tell? Because the algorithm doesn't know that you're upset. The algorithm just knows that you're engaging. Problem is competition for digital advertising revenue. I think Facebook is going to end up being super defined as a publisher, like the New York Times can't print harmful letters to the editor. No, I'm hoping that it goes the opposite, that it becomes a public square and that they're very limited on how they can censor you. Tell the lie often enough, it becomes the truth. All right, I think that one of the things that's going on is that a small group of people, like, remember all of this woke stuff, it used to be only on, what was the website? Tumblr? It used to all be only on Tumblr, right? And it kind of only spread because they started, like, getting attention. Anyways, I digress. Okay, so S&P 500 coming back a little bit. after much consideration, quite a bit of slow movement. The crazy thing that actually quantified in historical keyword searches on the New York Times trigger word usage basically hockey sticked in 2012. Was it really 2012? That's interesting to me. Or around the time that Black Lives Matters came about, right? Well, I don't want to get too far off track on that. I'm trying to be positive, guys. I'm trying to be positive. But I also want to have the intellectual conversations, and I don't want to get too much into the woke stuff. But I do want to have the conversation about how do we make social media better, right? When was Occupy Wall Street? That wasn't 2012, was it? That was more like 2009. Oh, 2011. 2011. So I guess you could say 2012, September 2011. Any new changes coming down to? I haven't seen anything. Let me go look. Sebastian Newman, thank you very much for your donation. Today may be choppy even if tech earnings are good. Yeah, it's going to be a difficult... The thing is that the market looks still kind of looks a little tired to me. But I think that gamma from all these people for tech earnings is probably going to win out. So I do think that we could get some good trends up today. I'm more concerned about what after them, especially if they're not good. I was in Manhattan with my mother during Occupy protests. My mother kept telling me to explain this, and I kept trying. It was kind of a weird thing how the thing that I found interesting about Occupy Wall Street, and I don't think many people picked up on this, but it was like it was really organized. Like everybody treated it like it was this, just kind of happened sort of a thing. But the reality is that the activists had been planning it for weeks. Like I was getting spam about it on Google when I was on Reddit on Dig for weeks before it came out. And then all of those Gawker websites knew about it and had content planned to push it. Like it was a big PR push. And then they had all of these strange progressive ideas that came about. And I think maybe Uzi is right. Like he's saying that is when they brought the identity politics to the fore, and it seems that it spread from there. And I always kind of thought that Occupy Wall Street was a failed movement and that the ideas were all considered, everybody thought that they were crazy and that overall the movement did more harm to their cause than good. But maybe Uzi is right that it did spread that woke culture, kind of the seeds of the woke culture that then really started taking off after 2016. Maybe. Do you think that TT data feed is much like an unfiltered data feed that you saw in the Sachs? Well, so I don't really know how filtered or unfiltered the data feed that I got at Goldman Sachs was. I mean, I only saw it like one time. I think that they're connected directly to the exchange and that they're getting the data that way, but I don't know. And I'm personally, I'm really skeptical about the advantage that you could really get from having truly unfiltered data. To be honest with you, I'm skeptical about what you could really get with unfiltered data. So, oh, Corsair finally responded to me. A little bit of pushback there, but I don't know. I kind of thought that the pushback from that would be better than it was. Cool. Corsair saying that the order is just delayed because of logistical errors, and there's nothing wrong with my order, so that's good. Well, the politics were always in every book and, in the media and stuff. Not like today, it isn't. Maybe, but I feel like that it's just kind of the same progression, Like, I don't think that they needed anything to happen for it to get to where it is today. It's just something that's been happening since the 70s. Treasuries are at their highs now. Would be happy if I had kept that, I suppose. Actually, no. How much would I? Because I was at 13. And I could have handled 2 ticks of adverse excursion. I got scared out of that too easily. So you think there isn't much of a big difference between what we get as retail and what Saks gets to justify getting it? Why do the Saks need it though? I don't even think that it's so much that they need it, NASDAQ trader, as it is that you're going to get that data and then you disseminate it out to other people, right? And the CME isn't in the business of, doesn't want to be in the business of distributing tons of data to tons of people. So, but I'm not quite, markup by order data, that's a different thing, right? There is a lot of data information there that can be pulled out. There's definitely information that could potentially be pulled out of the exchanges that you can't today, right? But I don't think that it's in the filtering of level 2 changes where you're not getting information, right? It has more to do with what was the exact sequence and time of orders and who were they with and things like that. That was an autoimmune response to Trump, maybe. So I have another question on this one though, because certainly Trump was like a very polarizing figure, but I remember them being very polarizing towards Mitt Romney, and I kind of just noticed that things kind of progressed. Let's say that who is it? The senator from Texas, perhaps. Ted Cruz, yes. What if Ted Cruz had won? I suspect that they would have tried to create the same irrational response to Ted Cruz. As long as they were really a conservative and not like a George Bush figure, I think that they would have gotten the treatment. A similar treatment, not as bad, but like just remember that they tried to call Mitt Romney a racist, and he has black grandchildren and stuff. Like, they were always going to push that line. It was just like with Trump, they just had like the perfect storm of opportunity for it to work. How many presidents had New York Times bestsellers before they ran for president? Is a complaint. I'm interested to see if they dig out of this before the open or not. The moment, it's not necessarily looking good. Amazon rejects speculation about Bitcoin payments as untrue, but says it's still exploring crypto. Oh, I guess that's good for Bitcoin. And top 10 TV shows. Certainly never one with a top 10 TV show. I think the one thing is that I think a lot of the response to Donald Trump, like the thing is the stuff before the election and everything, and pushing him as a Russian agent and pushing him as a racist was probably going to happen to whoever was the Republican. But Donald Trump made a lot of mistakes early on that made it so much worse for him. Yeah. And Ted Cruz or somebody else like that probably wouldn't have had as many problems, and they probably wouldn't have had as much internal problems, because I really think that, especially at the beginning of Trump's term, they were actually somewhat effective, and kind of what happened was over time, allies left, until at the end it was like just him. And then when it was just him, that's when like he started doing really stupid stuff, like saying, well, we should protest on the day that they're going to vote about this. And that was just I remember the day. I still remember very clearly. It just seems like it was yesterday to me, even though it was like 6 months ago, when he announced that they were going to have a protest that day. And I was like, why? Like, just drop it. Why? I was so frustrated with him that day. Uh, I don't think so, Nasdaq trader. I think that Western white men have always been interested in Asian family oriented women. Now that's too far off topic, right? There you go. Western white men want consumer women to share their adult. I think you're probably right. Like, again, I don't want to get like too far off subject, but I do think that this is kind of a thing about the way that people think these days and stuff. There's like definitely a thing there where, like we have a lot of time on our hands, and I think people are starting to look at their spouses and they want spouses that have similar interests and stuff. Well, that sucks because I think that trade was okay, but huh. All right, well, Oh, that's because there was the 75 from the other one. I was like, why? Yeah, Western white men, broadly speaking, have reached a level of comfort that they can play with toys well into old age. They want women who will play video games with them and collect toys with them. There you go. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Which is it's kind of weird because the hobbies that men tend to be into are hobbies that women tend not to be into. And you notice that a lot of the women that have a lot of lots of success on social media are ones that share male hobbies. I don't know if that's what women tend to go for, but at least not from the physical. I'm finding more and more that the women don't actually like that. So the big complaint from all of the bodybuilder guys is that they start their Instagram, they're buff and everything, and they think that they're gonna get so many girls following them because they're big and strong and everything, right? And what ends up happening is almost all of their followers end up being other men trying to learn how to get ripped like them. Like the women aren't that interested in it. Like men are more interested in the really athletic females than the women are interested in the athletic men. It's like bodybuilding is so overdone. There you go. I'm really interested to see where this goes, but I should. I don't know. I thought it would come over here. I am a little surprised by what happened. Not surprised, but I thought that starting here from around 4406, that we were going to go up and we were going to go and test that high. Well, it probably could still happen here for the open, as part of the opening drive. But then you get this issue where it's like you'll have like a positive opening drive and then they come back, like that's been happening a lot. Because he says that's internet garbage. I don't think that the stats back you up, Uzi, to be frank. The guys that have an easy time, okay. The guys that have an easy time getting women are the ones that have lots of money. Okay, is that what was supposed to happen? Ugh. That sucks. Algo took 2 bad trades there. There's the ace. Oh, that's a pretty bearish open. Well, when the robot took its second trade there, I was like, well, it took it. I've got to let it do its thing. But it really should not have been taking a trade right there ahead of the open. Like, I wouldn't mind a long at some point, but maybe not after that. I don't know. I was thinking maybe I could try and take a discretionary trade for it, but since it's taken 2 already today, 2 losers already today, it's done. It's done. I can't make it back on the combine account. I'm finding that really disheartening. What do you think of that open, Ace? That's pretty bearish, huh? One must consider if maybe the tech earnings isn't to buy into the tech earnings sort of a thing. Maybe they think they're going to be bad. Oh, you're still loading? How has your I'm frustrated with it, to be honest, YouTube Finance. Because it worked really, really well there for a while. And then one day, there was an unintentional screw up. But then ever since that one day, it's the algo has been getting him wrong every time. And I'm also a little frustrated. It's like a lot of the same things is still bother me. Like the one that irks me the most is that there are things that they could do from their end to prevent you from breaking the rules. Like if we're having if you're at your limit for the day, why doesn't it just take you out of the position? If you're only allowed to have so many contracts on, then why doesn't the system give you an error when you try and submit an order, right? Well, I think the answer is obvious. But I'm also frustrated because I thought we had a really good chance for this to pass a combine, and we did. We really did. And it was performing as expected, and then the market regime changed on us again. Oh man, that is a very bearish open, guys. I still don't understand doing a combine. It would be like someone charging some folks to enjoy at the public park. Well, I think the reason you do the combine is because you only have $150, and the things that you want to trade requires you to, be able to lose $500 a day if you need to. That's why. I just don't think that that's the majority of our audience, right? Like most of you guys, you're interested in trading. You can do micros, whatever. If you're a market genius, and so, yeah, maybe. Alex, good morning. I shouldn't get myself too down. We still have some space, but man, it is just going back. I don't know if we have another as bad of a day as today, then that will be the end of that combine too. And then I'm not sure. I'll ask them if they want me to try again, but I think that something has happened with the strategy, and it's not good. Like, I think if I was doing it again, I'd have to use a different strategy, because I think this one is broken. Well, that's curious. I'm going to try one on my sim account here. The thing that I've lost is the ability to go into a video and say, well, I haven't lost it yet. Let's not fuss. We're going to keep running it. I have no control over it. I didn't take any discretionary trades on that account today. I did have a trade on over on the other screen, but it was another sim account. Look at that. That didn't work out at all. Oops. So this one that we need to get rid of. Well, they must be heading for the overnight lows for sure, yeah? Yeah. Ace is short here now. So I'm still getting a lot of activity. Like my Dom is having a hard time keeping up, and you can see the treasuries moved up higher, right? I had the call there in the treasuries right from the beginning. A's covered there? Why did I sell here? I don't know. I think I'm just yellowing it. When I traded over in the treasuries, I think I had a good reason, but I also think I had a good reason to get out of it. So I would sure like to know why Ace covered that so quickly. Because I'm looking at this and I still see those juicy stops down there. The overnight low below 43.90.50. Because that's the rule when you get your contracts hit at 2 points, cover the rest. And I don't understand because you often let them run. So you would take your profits, but are you saying you took the profits and then it came back too far and you hit the break even? Or are you saying something else? Slowing down a bit. It is a little bit. The order flow is still very overwhelmingly negative though, in that they didn't breach the overnight low. Okay, so you still have some contracts on then, yeah? If this steepens here in the treasuries, I'm going to take note of that, right? I'm watching this 30 years, see if it comes down. So short at 493.25. So nope, you just got hit. I got you. So you notice the treasuries are backing off, but the spread's not changing. Oh, look at that. I'd say even though the tape is slowed down a lot, that the action is still really wavy. It's making me a little seasick when it goes, yeah, like that. Right. Now, this is the same kind of action that we've been seeing on some of these build days, right? Where there appears to be like these sweeps up, and then in the end, they don't work out. Did you upgrade your computer last year? Does it keep up with the data feed and charts better? I've changed a couple of things. The issue that I had was backtesting. I didn't have enough memory to do some of the large backtests that I wanted. So I got more memory, and that fixed some things. I would like a new processor. Cool, I got Phil. Would like a new processor, but I don't think that would make a huge difference for me. I don't know. I suppose that the new processors are a significant change over my 1700X. Okay, well, for me, I got the one. I'm going to break even on that second one. If I really think that it's going to go bearish again, I might want to sell, but I actually am seeing some things that telling me that we might flip here. Yep. I tell you what. You what stock along here, Ace? Probably already too far. Done? Oh, come on. You don't want to buy the dip? Actually, we should sit and wait for the consumer sentiment and Richmond Manufacturing Index, huh? That little move up though kind of suggests to me that the what do we call it? Meta order sell that came in on the open for whatever reason is done for now. Sounds like a non-event. I think the consumer sentiment could be really important. I mean, consumer sentiment numbers have been important lately, and Richmond Manufacturing Index. The issue is if that one is bad, then that could really be a big deal too. So I don't have an estimate for that one though. The CB consumer confidence is estimated to be 123.9. Ninja Trader 8 backtesting uses too much memory for sure. Yeah. How to sleep in and still hit profit. Dude, Ace, I'm so frustrated because my robot took 2 bad trades today. There was one trade that it took. It was selling at like 43.93 or something like that. And I was like, no, that is the absolute opposite of what it should be doing. I was looking at the chart and everything. I was like, no, that's not right. So I thought maybe I had something screwed up with my settings. But then, oh, no. I came in and I thought something was screwed up with my settings. So I changed it. And then the first trade that it took was the exact opposite of what it should. So I said, nope, that's wrong. It was right before. And so I changed it to what it was. And then it took 2 bad trades. And it was done for the day. So That puts that account down to like 900, I think. So they better catch winners tomorrow, or I don't know what I'm gonna do. And it sucks because it went through like 2 weeks of never losing a single trade. Was like, what the heck? But I think that the market has just changed. I think that, yeah. I think for this concept that I've been doing to work, that I need to develop a more of a neural network for reading the order book. You see, it's so. Well, I could just trade it myself, but with the way that the market has been behaving, I don't think that I would do much better. It does look like it's going to recover those opening losses. So I was coming in here like we should try and get along. If we had gotten along, if we had taken the signal at like 93, that would have been a great trade, yeah? That would have been a great trade at 93. Much better subjective. Let me put it this way: if I was trading the combine discretionarily, I would probably still be down this week because I've had some good trades. But if we took like every trade, probably not. Okay, well, the uptrend is subsiding a little bit here. Yep, another little sweep long. Where does that humming sound? What humming sound do you hear? Or was I humming? Oh, that's just probably just like a bad habit. I don't beatbox on stream. I don't know why I don't do that. But if I make any kind of noises, I am like making those up on the spot. China will need to import 2 million extra tons of soybeans to offset gap in canola supply. Oh, if only they were buying the amount of soybeans from us that they said they would. Well, we still got 5 minutes here. I'm still watching this action. I'm like, I want to be long. Ah! There's news in 5 minutes. Why take a trade now? Just curious because you make the... Do I really? I'm not even aware. You know what I liked? The thing that I mean, she doesn't say anything, but I do think that it drives my wife crazy. Is so like when we're driving and there's all the signs on the road, and I'll read all of the signs on the road in my announcer voice and come up with stupid jingles for them. Be like, Subway, it's a way for subs. I've never figured out why we antagonize our later... Wait, did I say something mean to Ace? I didn't say anything mean to Ace. I mean, I did okay on that trade too. It's like the humming song that the guy in Wolf of Wall Street makes, but better. You know what though, Ace? I am a little upset because he's probably gone. I am a little upset because I wanted to take a long, and because you weren't there, I didn't take it. And it could have been some money. And I was feeling a little reckless. I was thinking, hey, let's do it on the live account. Like, come on. Actually, the reason I'll show you now. Since I thought better of myself. I was like, no, I said we're going to take it easy today and just let the robot do its thing. And now since the robot is already screwed up big time, I definitely need to be out. But look at this. Okay. Footprint chart. 10,000 at 94. 10,000 at 93. Almost 10,000 at 93 and 10,000 at 95. That is the PPT setup. And that's why I was thinking I should go long here. What coulda. By the time I was thinking about it, it was already a little bit too late. And it came back up very quickly, didn't it? Yes, it did. The setup is on you see more than 10,000 contracts trade within a single handle on the E-mini in a 30-minute time period after a strong downtrend. And you'll see that actually at multiple places. But it's like major absorption down there. They're going to bounce back up to 4,400. That's where we spent so much time yesterday, huh? Well, we got 2 more minutes here. Yeah, it's like X is at the bottom. Yeah, it's like absorption, but it's like a higher time frame absorption of sorts because you set the chart up to see it across multiple prices and stuff. It's curious that we broke the low of the day by a tick and then bounced, huh? Alex says another leg down for NASDAQ. Well, I say that because I kind of feel like that if it was really with as bearish as it was, that they should go down more than 43.90. But I don't know. I love price aggregation, makes me realize things much better. Yeah, Jigsaw really needs to add that feature, man. You listening, Peter? Oh, my volume profile charts on ES has at least a handle of aggregation somehow. Yeah, I really like using 4. You trade using price aggregation? Really? Does your platform lets you do that? You using? Oh no, but don't you use NinjaTrader? Does NinjaTrader allow price aggregation like that? Okay, so the Richmond Manufacturing Index was at 27 versus 20, and the consumer confidence was 129 versus 123. So the numbers are good. Well, why not? I'm gonna only do one contract because I didn't really get a very good spot. But if they give me the better spot, I might shuffle things around. Okay. It's looking okay, but it's actually not going as fast as I thought it would after this news. I thought the news should constrain them and now they should be free to buy it, right? Hmm. Hmm. So the order flow actually is a little bit more mixed after this news than what I'd expect, isn't it? I think they have a really good shot at the highs, but we'll see if they do it, right? The excursions are a little tight too. Um, hmm. Hmm. Well, there's my sim trade stopped out. Oh, just as Ace is going short, huh? I don't know, man. Hmm. I'm still liking it long. I don't know, man. Did I miss something? Hold on. Richmond was 27 versus 20, and consumer confidence was 129.1 versus 123.9. So both the numbers were good. There was some positive action off of it, but then since then they've come back. Now the treasuries are not pushing up to highs, they're actually pushing down. The dollar is moving up a little bit right now. Actually, the dollar's been up since the open, really, huh? Yeah, dollar's been strengthening. Gold and silver have kind of held back. Would be using MATLAB machine learning toolbox. I don't know if MATLAB would be a great way of doing it. I think that you'd be better off doing it in Python or R, or using a C# library. I mean, if you want to plug it into NinjaTrader, then you just want to use a C# library, right? Ace is out. Okay. Try one more. Right here. Okay. Another thing is I haven't necessarily been picking good spots, have I? No, because I'm having a hard time getting favorable excursion at all. See that? Like I got two ticks of favorable excursion. They're certainly fighting here. Okay. What are you guys saying? They might make a push for it finally? Yeah, they may. Getting good runners last Friday and yesterday spoiled me? Yeah, I feel like that too. Given how difficult that I seem to be having, I don't know. You know what? I'm probably just crazy. Like I said, I didn't sleep very well last night, huh? So maybe it makes sense that I would just take a lot of bad trades, but uh, I also feel that it being this difficult is usually a bearish sign, right? Yeah. I'm wondering, I don't know. I'm wondering here when I look at this, I feel like that I have a good setup for a reversal trade though. Like I keep thinking, I mean, that's why I keep taking them on sim, but I keep feeling that I could have some opportunity here, you know? So like the question is, why do I think that? You know, that was pretty ugly. Woo, okay. Okay. Man. Okay, well, so two things I've noticed. There's been a lot of absorption down here towards the lows, but they did go lower. And the other thing is that the treasuries are well off of their highs. I'm not seeing the flight to safety to treasuries. That is a bender. I mean, if I was still short, we should be holding this, right? But can I go short here? Some pushback there for sure. Can see gold moving up again a little bit. So I should leave a comment on... Nah. I wouldn't worry about that. Because I already know what processor I'd get. I'd get a 3600. And you got to your target? Oh, you had a teeny tiny target. No, wait. You must be talking NASDAQ or something. Oh, that is your target. I see. Oh. I'd really like to see them turn it around here, but I don't know, man. It's rough out there, huh? Yeah, I clicked the wrong button when I went full screen. See, the treasuries still don't look too panicked to me. Okay, so some strong buying right there just came through in the E-mini. Okay. And you can see all that volume right there coming right back up. Rough ride. 39. Well, he must be trying to do a swing trade, I guess. I mean, some people, they do trades like that. I would really be interesting to me to see what his entry signal was. Yeah, for sure. To want to hold that, to be confident enough to hold it through all that. Okay, that's a much more positive move there. Rabobank says it's all about China again today. I'm reading Zero Hedge headlines. And for markets, the question is where next? So, Consumer Conference Board confidence inches higher in July. Hope slips. 10-cent shares stumble as WeChat removed from Chinese app stores. Ooh, really? U.S. home prices have never risen this fast. Oh, that's looking real good. That's looking real good now. See, it's like you'll get the bounce eventually, but it will be after I've like given up. Oh, he's flat now because his target was 95. I'd say that this change in the trend is pretty positive looking, but again, the Treasury is still not really moving very far from where they're at, 14.5. Which is where they've spent a lot of this session, right? There's just like a hole there for sure. Okay, there's a downtick in the Treasury. Carlos Suarez, it was long liquidations on my perspective. What do you mean by that? You think that it was longs getting stopped out and that's why we were getting hit down? That was an aggressive take. Senator Warren urges Janet Yellen to crack down on cryptocurrencies is what I'm hearing right now. Doubt that has much impact, but, well, cryptocurrencies are down over the last 30 minutes. Okay. So I'm curious, there seems like some big orders showing up in the 95 and a half area. And then there is kind of like that profile shape of sorts. So that was a pretty good excursion by the bulls, but now backing off. Turning into a doji. Okay. So there's next little pivot, and then there's that high from the last swing up. So if they can get to like 4402, then things will start to look really nice, right? Thanks for posting that link there. Elite indicator package. If you use NinjaTrader, go and speculatorseth.com, try out my indicators. Free 2-week trial, and then best part is only $10 a month subscription to the YouTube channel after that. So, well, so there does appear to be maybe. It's kind of questionable if they stay in the hole coming back up or not. But there is a chance that they kind of get stuck here in 95. I hope not. That wouldn't be very much fun because we only got like 30 minutes left. Cryptocurrencies pairing their losses there. I think they care about Elizabeth Warren. Should come over here and look at where we're. Oh, okay. So 95 is like seller's line. Buyer's line is up at basically 4,400. Okay, well, there's the sellers finally winning out. Ooh. It's looking ugly again, isn't it? Vlad says I'm still waking up. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? He has a lot of poor structures on the way up, so it's filling gaps. Maybe that, yeah, maybe. I am kind of wondering where's the bearishness coming from, because like the data was all good, and normally they buy ahead of the big earnings from the tech companies. But I wonder if that's somebody making the bet that the tech earnings aren't going to be so great. You know? So you got to admit, the open was really negative. Now, I have to admit, I didn't do very well trying to sell, but it is interesting, says Vlad, yes. Like 90 is an area where they could maybe find some support, right? This isn't looking good from Seth. Is worth 3 ticks every time. Is that what? The thing that I find so frustrating, especially with the E-mini, is that by the time it's like, oh yeah, they're going down. Like maybe they're going to go down for a new low. Is if you like take that spot, then that's the spot that like they tinker around with, and you can never get any excursion on. You know. They are holding it a little bit. It might be good for another buy. Hmm. Oof. Gonna be another one? Oh, it's so close. Yeah, I got all those orders down there below 85. You say buy side looks tired, says Kyle. Getting the sleepiness coming on again. It's the NASDAQ hitting back. Well, let's come look at this volume profile again. You can see the 10K traded over in here, and it's usually good for a bounce. It did bounce, but then it went lower. There was quite a bit there in the 93 area. So then on this bar, that's about where we came up to. We couldn't continue on, and it got flipped back down. The cumulative delta was actually more negative in this bar than this bar, really. That's interesting. But look, the treasuries did flip down and they steepened. You see, when the gold trade came all the way back now, kind of started to look like for a moment that they were going to go up, but it didn't. Probably because the dollar reverting a little bit. California Republican seeks to make August 24th Kobe Bryant Day. Are you kidding me? It's, it was something that I find so weird is that there are things that when I was younger, when I was in my 20s and like were big things online, okay? And now all of the sudden, new generation, and it's like somehow the media is able to like turn around and like those things never happened. Like everybody used to hate Kobe. Now he's dead and he's a saint. I don't get it. Not saying that I hate him. I'm just saying it's so weird to me that how it's flipped like that. Or like I remember in yesteryears of people being really mad at Bobby Kotick, who is now the CEO of Activision Blizzard. And now everybody's pissed at Activision Blizzard, but I hardly see anybody talking about Bobby Kotick. Like shouldn't cancel Kotick be the top trending Twitter hashtag? I don't get it. How is he getting away with this? Who is portrayed as a prima donna? Well, is that whole thing about like the sexual assault case and everything? Nobody believed him. Well, no, I remember a lot of people saying that he was a rapist. Like, I don't know, man. It's just weird how quickly people change, huh? How quickly people change opinions. So I feel like that, like 89 wouldn't be a bad spot. But look at what happens when the cells come in. It's like, like the orders are pulling out in here. Never have heroes yet. I mean, you can look up to people for specific actions, but when you start to hold somebody up on a pedestal, you're setting yourself up for sure. Look at that. Still quite a bit of excursion by the sellers. Like I keep thinking, oh, this is a good buy spot, but I'm not convinced. There's a lot of liquidity down just below us. It's another thing. We're kind of in a spot where Face was still trading. You might be taking longs and shorts and getting frustrated, right? And look at that. There was like some buying came in. It started to look good, and it came all the way back again. George Washington was a schmuck in some areas. Man, I have to say, I really bothers me when bothered me when people were like tearing down statues of George Washington and stuff. Like I'm not, like that's the other side of it, I guess, right? Is that historical people don't have to be perfect for them to be worthy of praise, Mother Teresa had some messed up beliefs, but I don't know, man. You ever seen on Reddit? There's always that thread. What historical person is well liked and probably shouldn't be? And Mother Teresa is always like the most controversial one. Mother Teresa and Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela is the one that's always downvoted to here and back, though. Oh, that one's super controversial. That's the worst Seth Lacing 2021 morals on 1776 character. Kyle says, avoid that sleepy moment. That's my point. Folks' behaviors can be applauded. They themselves should not be whole. Yeah. The U.S. Senate Majority Leader Schumer says that senators should plan for weekend work and that progress is being made on infrastructure. What year did owning slaves become wrong? It is interesting if we were raised in the South during that time. I mean, we would probably, in all likelihood, think that it was okay. And I just can't, for the life of me, imagine how you would ever justify such a thing. Like, because to me, the thing that I value above all other things in this earthly life, at least from an earthly perspective, is our freedoms. And to have a whole class of people that literally doesn't have freedom like that because of from birth is like crazy to me. So they're kind of teasing that low again. You think they're going to go through? But it was more complicated with that with George Washington, right? He first became a slave owner at the age of 11. His enslaved population consisted of 317 people. But his marriage to Martha significantly increased the number of slaves. They resisted and everything. George Washington left instructions in his will to emancipate the people enslaved by him upon the death of Marshall. Oh, I see. No, I get it. The thing that would make it difficult is that so much of your living and your economy is based on the slavery. So it's like, yeah, we free the slaves, and then what happens to everything else? It falls apart. It'd be like an awful recession. And I can definitely see people justifying, because we justify all sorts of things with the economy, right? So he says, okay, but when I'm gone and it doesn't matter anymore, then I'll release them. Okay, yeah, I see. Who knows, 3 generations from now, they'll call us immoral for eating animals. I'm not going to touch that question when I think that would, I don't want to think about that. You think it's likely that people in the future will think that killing animals is immoral? Nah. Maybe not immoral, but gross. I don't know. Treasury's coming back up there. They're starting to be like, the E-mini is scaring me a little bit. Cigarette smoking will be hysterically laughed at. I don't think it's ever going to go away. I don't think cigarette smoking will ever go away. Did you see, I noticed how it was like cigarette smoking went away, and so they just created cigarette smoking by another name and pretended that it was healthy until the health administration or whatever the government bureaus are that are in charge of that, and the research came out and was like, nope, smoking hookah is bad too. It's just like, what? Now we burned off all I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I can only hope, though, that 50 years from now, we'll talk about how people were hysterically scared of nuclear power and how stupid it was and how much better everything became when we finally started to invest in nuclear power. I hope on that one. That's a possibility, maybe. I'm willing to put money down on that one if you can find me a good company. Someday. There's new lows. That's a very gradual new low, though. I went 1900 into 43.85. So that all of that heavy liquidity down there is for real. I'd say, given the current situation, that there's a good chance that they're going to blast through that and then come back up. And then we'll see where they go from there. You could just take that as she goes, maybe. It's kind of hard to do those trades in the E-mini, but if this was the treasury, I would totally be selling it. Someday they may say they actually used to cut off body parts to remove cancer. What do you think they will say of traders? I don't know. Trading is going to change a lot someday for sure. There you go. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen, huh? Actually, they made it back to 86. I'm surprised. Day trading is going to continue changing. My hope is, well, I think that the next step in trading is that they're going to continue to make it more accessible and cheaper and give you better information. Right? I'm concerned that what is going to happen is at some point, even the high frequency algos are going to not really be making money, and then what do? Because apparently in futures, so my understanding is this. I forget where I got this from, but there is a lot of high frequency trading going on in stocks, but apparently a really significant portion of that has left the future space. Obviously, there's still robots. I mean, somebody's providing all that liquidity, but it's only a handful of players. And there's big risks to them when they get the strong excursions, like the trend days, right? So I kind of wonder, as spreads in stocks, if they ever come in and you get rid of the wash trading rule. I think that's the first step is you get rid of the wash trading rule and let people actually provide liquidity in stocks and eliminate those spreads. So when the spreads have been eliminated in stocks, then what? Trading's going to change big time for the big guys. At least I don't know if it changes for us, but Hey, that was a good buy right there. Did you see that one? Whee! 88 don't look so hot, don't look too shabby now, does it? But it's time. I don't. I'm really tempted to go into my live account and try and buy the dip, but I don't know, man. So what happened? There was a blast through the liquidity. They came back up, and then when they got sufficiently far away from it, it turned all on buy. And there's probably a lot of people that were filling those guys down there at the bottom that are going to be stopping out and stuff. Carter just joined. How you doing? Today hasn't been such a good day, to be honest. I mean, the only thing that really matters is that we took on the combine here. And the robot took 2 trades and they both lost. I'm still like anything below, like I'm just going to put that on and just let it watch it. Because I think below 94 is good if we're going to buy the dip. He took some winning scalps and then moved to the practice account, luckily. Well, even if you were going short, it's been hard trading, wouldn't you say? I would be wrecked today, yeah. I'm sure that there's a lot of retail traders in the stock space that are really, really having a hard time lately. It's kind of hard, though, because I don't get as much of a finger on them because TikTok kind of like prevented a lot of that stuff. And those guys that were just in it for the money, they just left. They just straight up stopped making content. So... Title? Oh, yeah. What should we put in the title? I don't know. Big tech earnings. Turbulent markets ahead of tech earnings. I think that's a great title. I don't have the keywords at the beginning, but I think it's good. See, look, I put the order there at 93. Now they're just going to sit there forever. They're like, oh, we saw you, Seth. We were watching your stream. We saw you. We're not going to move now. We're going to stop you out first. Yeah, see that excursion right there? That is not what I want to see. When is tech earnings after the bell? Let's show. So before I go, let's go look at that, shall we? I like to look at this earnings report calendar. Market chameleon. Charmeleon. What? I don't know. I can't speak today. All right, and we've got Apple, Microsoft, Google, UPS, Raytheon, 3M, General Electric, AMD. All after the bell. Oh, wait, a bunch of these actually already reported, huh? UPS was not so good. Oof. Oh, I got stopped out of my trade. Oh, that was no good. Yucky, yucky, yucky. What do we expect from... Oh, that's a good question, Lucas. So, I expect, though, that they're going to be fairly neutral, actually. I think that they're probably going to make note that the economic conditions are not quite as positive now. But I don't think that they're going to really give us any idea about like when a taper or when rates are going to change or anything like that. I think that they're still going to be surprisingly tight-lipped. Like the thing usually ends up that when they do make a pivot and they actually make it known to us that we kind of already know what they're going to do because they like telegraph it a lot. And since I'm not seeing any kind of telegraphing from the Federal Reserve before the blackout period, like they're in a blackout period now, but when they were talking, they weren't really giving us a direction. And that was like when things were crazy too, right? So I don't expect they're going to do a whole lot. But the markets will probably move a ton anyways, right? Which way? I don't know. Look at that. Right back up. I think if you were to swing it, that anywhere below 94 would be a good trade. But holding risk with it would be difficult right now, right? Well, I feel really down on myself today, but I don't know. Well, if this one fails out, what do you think I should do? What do you think I should make the video? The video will just be, I break every combine rule so you don't have to. That's what the video is going to have to be. Oh, man. Okay, guys. Well, I don't actually have to go anywhere because I'm going to be watching the kid today, but I'm going to write some scripts and stuff. Somebody passed me an idea for an algorithm that I'm interested to test. I don't think that's going to work, but it's still interesting. There's a little thing I'm going to do in it that's going to make it interesting. And what else? Yeah. Anyways, but I'm going to try writing so that we have some scripts set up for next week. We can maybe we can record multiple videos in 1 week and just edit them over time. I don't know. I took this one. Bye. Yep, they were all. All right, well, whatever. Hey, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, stay profitable, friends.